Okay, guys, sorry about the past couple of days that I haven't been doing the recordings, but I'm sure enough that once I have time, I will do them all. So here is the third part to the Into the Pit, and we're going to be reading 4 pages. Alrighty, let's get started. Okay, said Oswald. No to It was hard to say no to a warm, gooey cheese slice. It wasn't a school night, and wouldn't be again for quite some time. Oswald stayed up after Dad went to bed and watched an old Japanese monster movie. With Jinx curled up, purring on his lap, Oswald had seen a lot of B-grade Japanese horror films, but this one, Zeldrick versus McCanzendrick, was new to him. As always, Zeldrick just looked like a giant dragon thing, but McCanzendrick reminded him of the mechanical animals he drew when he stripped them of their fur. He laughed at the movie special effects. The train Zeldrick destroyed was clearly a toy, and how the actors' lip movements didn't match the dubbed in English. Somehow, though, he always found himself rooting for Zeldrick, even though he was just a guy in a rubber suit. Somehow, he managed to have a lot of personality. In bed, he tried to count his blessings. He didn't have Ben, but he had monster movies and the library and lunchtime pizza slices. It was better than nothing, but it still wasn't going to be enough to keep him going all summer. Please, he wished, his eyes closed tight. Please, let something interesting happen. Oswald woke to the smell of coffee and bacon. The coffee he would do without, but the bacon smelled amazing. Breakfast meant time with his mom. Often the only time he got with her all until the weekend. After one necessary stop, he hurried down the hall to the kitchen. Oh, look at that! My rising sixth grader has risen. Mom was standing under the stove in her fuzzy pink bathrobe, her blonde hair pulled back in a ponytail, flipping. Oh, yum were those pancakes. Hi, Mom. She opened her eyes. I demand a morning hug. Oswald sighed like it annoyed him, but he went over and hugged her. It was funny. With Dad, he always said he was too old for hugs, but he never turned down his mom's open arms. Maybe it was because he didn't get to spend much time with her during the week. While he and Dad spent so much time together, they sometimes got on each other's nerves. He knew Mom missed him and felt bad for having to work such long hours, but he also knew since Dad's job at the snack space was just part-time, Mom's long hours were most of the reason the bills were getting paid. Mom always said that adult life was a fight between time and money. The more money you earn to spend on bills and necessities, the less time you got to spend with your family. It was a difficult balance. Oswald sat down at the kitchen table and thanked his mom when she poured him orange juice. When she poured his orange juice. First day of summer break, huh? Mom went back to the stove to scoop up a pancake with her spatula. Uh-huh. He probably should have tried to sound more enthusiastic, but he couldn't muster the energy. She slid the pancake onto his plate and then served him 2 strips of bacon. Not the same without Ben, huh? He shook his head. He wasn't going to cry. Mom ruffled his hair. I know it's a bummer, but hey, maybe a new friend will move to town. Oswald looked at her hopeful face. Why would anybody move here? Okay, I see your point, Mom said, filling on another pancake. But you never know. Or maybe somebody cool already lives here, somebody you don't even know yet. Maybe, but I doubt it, Oswald said. These pancakes are great, though. Mom smiled and ruffled his hair again. Well, I've got that going for me anyway. Do you want more bacon? If you do, you better grab it before your dad gets in here and vacuums it all up. Sure. It was Oswald's personal policy never to refuse more bacon. The library was actually kind of fun. He found the latest book in a science fiction series he liked and the manga that looked interesting. As always, he had to wait forever to use the computers because they were always taken out by people who looked like they had no place else to be. Men with scraggly beards wearing layers of ratty clothes, too thin women with sad eyes and bad teeth. He waited his turn politely, knowing that some of these people used the library for shelter during the day, then spend the night on the streets. Joe's Pizza was as weird as he remembered. The big empty space beyond the booths and the tables was like a dance floor and nobody danced. The walls were painted a pale yellow, but they must have used cheap paint or only one coat because shapes of whatever had been on the walls were still visible. It had probably been some kind of mural with people or animals, but now it was just shadows behind a thin veil of yellow paint. Oswald sometimes tried to figure out what the shapes were, but they were too blobby to make out. Then there was the stage that never got used, standing empty but seemingly waiting for something, though a feature even weirder than the stage lay in the back right corner. It was a large rectangular pen surrounded by yellow netting, but it had been roped off with a sign that said "Do not use." The pen itself was filled with red, blue, and green plastic balls, and had probably been brightly colored once, but were now faded and fuzzy with dust. Alrighty, now, next time we will read 5 pages, so come back next time to hear some more of the story.